Hyperrealism art is that type of art where the artist has got no choice but to be attentive to details because the art is literally in the details. The following artist is one of the very few who does charcoal hyperrealism art. Let's check him out. Hyperrealism charcoal art is an extremely rare combination in the Kenyan art space.
I focus on this style of art is hyperrealism, and I work with charcoal pencils, and I grew over time ever since I began. I began drawing since I was a small boy. I was passionate about drawing, because when I draw, it kind of keeps me relaxed. I feel relaxed. I feel motivated. It's kind of therapy to me, and ever since I was a small boy, I was asking my dad, my mom, buy me some materials. I need to draw. I need to enjoy drawing, and that's how I ventured into art. And I became serious with art since I joined campus in first year. And back then I used to do sketches, not serious sketches as I am doing right now. And yeah, that's how I landed to this particular point where I am right now.
It is required of the artist to employ specific tools and materials in order to achieve the best quality of work and to ensure his ideas are presented in the best physical, visible form.
I wish I could come with the pencils that I use, but I was quite in a hurry in the morning, but not the actual marker. It is the type of pencil I use is called Generals, charcoal pencils. And basically just like a normal pencil, like a graphite pencil, but it is charcoal pencil. Yeah, nothing complicated about the pencils. I use a specific paper, for the quality of art to turn out this way. Also the materials matter. Better materials, better quality of art. So I use a material called Strathmore paper, 400 series. So it is kind of heavy. You cannot compare it to a cartridge paper. So that's why it produces this kind of art, and it works best with charcoal. That's why I chose this. Personally, I wanted to venture on this. Back then when I was a small boy, I was trying out everything. I tried out everything. I tried out color pencils, I tried out acrylics, I tried out water pencils. But there's something about pencils, the charcoal to be precise with. And I fell in love with pencils. That's why I based my art purely on charcoal pencils. Maybe in the future, once I'm well with this, because I'm still growing, and I know that I'll venture into something else once I continue with my art journey.
Every step in the creation process is a rigorously calculated move which often guarantees pitch-perfect end results.
Where I get my inspiration is I go through Pinterest, and whenever I see a well-edited photo or a picture, that's where my inspiration gets. And I like it when it is so realistic. I like it when it is so that way, and I get to start my project from there. First of all, I start with the picture that I have identified, the project that I'm going to work with. After identifying the project, I don't just see a picture and sit down. I'm like, now let's draw. I bond with the photo first. I look at how detailed it is, have a feeling with it, because I cannot just say I want now to draw. So after bonding with the picture, I now start with the measurements. It's a whole process of measuring the size of portrait I want, because a portrait goes with sizes. If I want for example, whatever we're having, it's an A2 size, and after doing the measurements, I now go ahead with grading. I do the grading for proportionality. After going on with the grading, I now go ahead with sketching the outline, the basic outline. After that, I now work with the details. Shadings, adding color, adding texture, adding the details, and finalizing now the portrait, and it's done.
As both a student and an artist, time is a precious commodity which Mbevi has to distribute strategically to ensure his academic and artistic goals are met.
Well, it's quite difficult, really difficult, because working on school projects, comparing with my art, because at times I get art commissions from customers. Also, I have my personal projects that I work on. So you'll find that I usually lack sleep. Most of the time I spend my work on my art is throughout the entire night. I burn the midnight oil all the way to, I actually sleep at 3 a.m. That's my time of sleeping, working on my projects, working on the commission portraits, and then during the daytime, I'm in school. That's how I balance my art and school.
Challenges are inevitable in any field, but it is maneuvering through them that allows anyone to appreciate the high moments.
Some of the challenges I face as an artist, particularly in Kenya. So one of the main challenges I get is acquiring these materials. As I said, I don't use just any normal paper. I've told you I use charcoal pencils. So I just don't walk in any bookshop. Maybe you need a biro. You want to go in any bookshop and purchase a biro. It's hard for me to identify that art shop where I can purchase these items, and they also need to be exported. Let's say I can go to an art store where I purchase the items, and then they tell me that they are out of stock. I have to wait for them to be exported, and I have to wait for maybe around like 2 months. So I have to keep waiting for the materials to be brought back to Kenya so that I can start off on my projects. So that's a challenge on my end. Also, art materials are quite expensive. You can charge a commission portrait, and then the client is like, no, stop charging that kind of price. But they don't really know the hassle and the struggle that I go through to acquire the materials, and also the time I invest in this particular kind of art. As much as Kenya is evolving through art, it's not everybody who appreciates this kind of art. And that's also a challenge, trying to explain to people how art is diverse, how art is enriching. It's not just a picture, but it is more of a feeling. It is not just printed. So also trying to convince someone that this is something special that you're acquiring. So that's something else that you're trying to emerge through. But there are people who really appreciate arts in Kenya. My social media accounts are Ted Sketches, Ted_Sketches, that's my Instagram handle. Ted Sketches, that's my TikTok handle. And my phone number is 01123 722 18. So that's where you all can find me. WhatsApp, SMS, call, and basically that's where you can all find me.
That there is excellence in a very niche medium.